So I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about each of the songs in Lethe. It's this album that I'm working on. The Lethe concept is based on the mythological river Lethe, not the physical river Lethe. I think there's a river in Greece called Lethe. Basically, it's this mythological river that has water. It's basically a river in Hades that you drink to forget your memories. And it's a really great metaphor for human societies, because obviously every new generation has to relearn the past, and not everything gets translated. And it seems like today especially, I mean, it must always be happening. I wouldn't say today especially, but I'm noticing it now, that our society has this sort of amnestic dimension that is kind of terrifying in its implications. We're forgetting our own value systems, seemingly intentionally, and ignoring the lessons of history in order to, I guess, progress. But we're progressing with regressive ideas, and it's going to lead to outcomes that really are even worse than the status quo now. And the status quo is in some ways good and in some ways terrifying. I remember, all right, so my phone died, so I'm just gonna keep talking to this phone only. So yeah, when I was in prison, I thought to myself pretty often, like, this seems like, I called it a soft genocide. And what I meant by that was the people in prison, they're not, being murdered. It's not like a concentration camp, except some of them kind of are because they're labor camps. But the people in prison are not allowed to, they're not allowed to breed or have children or anything. And, is that a human right or not? I don't really know. But it seems like if you were to stop a group of people from having kids, that would be a violation of their human rights. So, but anyway, I called it a soft genocide. I think I'd read a book where it was about a painter, like an Orthodox Jewish painter, Lethe, I think his name was. And they had this quote in the beginning of the book, like, every murder is a genocide because you're preventing, all the possible children from being born that this person might have had. So in that spirit, I mean, prison is certainly a soft genocide. And what was I talking about? Yeah, the amnestic dimensions of society. So yeah, the Lethe concept in general is about, we're constantly forgetting everything. And especially now, I feel like right now we're such little forgetful fucks, And God, especially the really vocal people. I mean, it's ridiculous. And Lethe's a little bit of a response to that. So the first song is Acheron. That's another river. I kind of envisioned it as the sort of like the first big river you cross to get to Hades. There's all these woodcuts that are sort of Dante's Inferno, and one of them is like people being ferried across a river. It kind of reminds me of like that scene in The Hobbit where Gollum lives on this little weird river in the middle of like a deep chasm, and he has to row out to it. I was kind of thinking of something like that. So imagine that you have passed away, and you're waiting on the shores, and you don't really know where you are. And then there's a ferryman that is taking people to a distant shore. And it's so far away you can't tell what's going on over there, you know. So it's so far away you can't tell what's going on. And then it's your turn to get on the ferry. And it's a one-way ferry. Like somehow you just know it's one way only. And as you approach the other side, you just hear this like wall of noise, and you realize it's the cacophonous screams of everyone there. You know, like that's kind of what I pictured. And it's just this tortured realization that you're going to hell, and it's too late to do anything about it. And just the panic that sets in. And that's kind of the tone for that song that I was going for.